So you've been many places around the world in disaster zones. Just curious to know how Japan compares with what you've seen in other places.
It's been a very different experience, both in terms of the destruction and the response. The destruction in Japan was enormous. It compared in a lot of ways to the destruction that I saw after the 2004 Southeast Asian tsunami in Sri Lanka, just in terms of a tsunami takes out everything in its path. Now, what's different about Japan is that what was in its path was much more developed, much more expensive, much more high value. Japan, on the other hand, was very lucky in some ways. If you look at the human toll, while it was high and terrible, relative to the amount of destruction they were really very lucky that it wasn't worse. And when I say lucky, what I mean is they were very prepared. Japan, as I said before, is one of the most prepared countries in the world. They do evacuation drills nationally once a year, as well as smaller evacuation drills for schools and businesses. They have an amazing early warning system. And so that's something that I think is very important. And as I said, also, they were very prepared to respond in terms of the prefab houses, in terms of certain policies that they had. You know, I was there for one of the large aftershocks, the 7.1, which knocked out electricity across several prefectures for 24 to 36 hours. Within maybe 2 or 3 hours, it happened at 11 p.m., we're driving around and we see at the major intersections people with light sticks directing traffic.
Wow.
Which you can imagine it's a big risk to happen. You know, people are driving around at night with no electricity. And somehow those people knew that their job was to get dressed in their uniforms, grab their light sticks, go out and direct traffic. So, you know, they have all these structures in place, and which was amazing and was very helpful in managing the response. But this disaster was far larger than they predicted. We saw that in the effect it had on the nuclear plants. We saw that in the effect it had on towns that had seawalls, which did nothing really to prevent the tsunami. So it goes to show that there's preparedness. It helped, but it really wasn't enough.
Malka, thank you very much.
Thank you.